Hey guys, this is Donna Coriel. I'm the creator of SoMeDocs, and I have someone really cool on with me, and we are testing out this recording function on Zoom. I have Dr. Michael Cosimini. Did I say that right, by the way?
You said that right. Very good.
Awesome. Dr. Michael Cosimini. He's from Los Angeles and he's a pediatrician. I'm going to let him introduce himself, and we are going to basically keep this really short to 5 minutes so we don't lose your interest. So Michael, take it away.
Hey, yeah, thanks so much for doing this, and thanks for amplifying all of our voices on social media and connecting us. I love it. So I'm an academic pediatrician. I do a lot of work both inpatient and outpatient pediatrics, and teach residents and medical students. And that experience teaching and kind of the struggles that you have as a clinical teacher is why I made the game that we're talking about today.
Right. So that's actually a good segue, is that Michael basically created a card game. Can I say a card? Can I call it a card game? Oh,
Yeah,
show
absolutely.
it. Love it.
A card game for teaching antibiotics to residents, to medical students, and to pediatricians who need to know guideline-based antimicrobial selection.
And so cool. Can you show us that you have it there? So guys, he literally created a card game that is now being sold.
Yeah, so it's 40 cases that are just like a clinical, I think it's going to show backwards on the video, but a clinical case, which has a little vignette about what is happening, little indication of what kind of drug we expect you to use, whether it's injected or oral. And then on the back, there's a learning point, the correct treatment, and a QR code that brings you to more information online about, the references for where that information is from, and a little bit more information.
So it's not just that you're learning, you're not just learning the treatments, but you're actually playing a game with it, correct?
Yeah. So it's there's a way to play solo, but primarily it's a competitive card game where there'll be 5 cases available to treat that score different points, and you take turns attempting to treat those infections. And it can get heated, it can get fun. It's definitely a good way to engage on the content.
Love it. Love it. I'm actually a gamer, so I really love this. And I thought it would be great to not only help promote Michael's card game to a lot of us, because we're all physicians in SoMeDocs, but also to get people asking questions. And Dr. Gretchen LaSalle, she is active on SoMeDocs, and actually I know her personally, but she sent some questions that we thought would be wonderful to ask Michael here in a recording, because others of you may have the same question. So let's go down the list. Did you publish yourself?
Yeah, she's obviously thought about this. These are great questions.
Yeah, these are great. Did you publish yourself or work with a game manufacturer?
Yeah, I think that's sort of two question. One, which is it self-published or is it with a publisher? And is it sort of a print on demand or is it with a manufacturer? So the two general paradigms of how you can make a game are you can use a print on demand service. So you upload the information to the web page, you get one copy sent to you, and then other people can use their credit card online and have a copy printed for them on demand. So print on demand service. And the second is going to a manufacturer. So working with a company like Panda or another manufacturer that will have a site typically in China that they print the cards. Usually have to order at least 1,000, 1,500 copies of a game to use a manufacturer like that. So in this particular case, with quite a niche, for a hobby project with quite a niche audience of pediatricians, this first pass of the game is a print-on-demand service.
Okay, gotcha. It's very similar to books, to writing a book. It reminds me of.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of familiarity with that, but I do think there are people who print through Amazon and can have them printed as needed for people who purchase them.
Absolutely. Yeah. And nowadays there's pre-orders and things like that. Okay. Did you trademark the games?
Yeah, I haven't done a trademark. I felt like, there's no money behind this project, and there's not really much profit on the tail end of the project. So I haven't gone through that sort of process. I don't think I would be the one that's
a good one to comment on that.
Getting
How much does it sell for?
$14.
Oh, okay. And when you're saying there's no profit, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's the thing about print on demand. So it costs about $10.60 to get it printed.
Wow.
After that, you can mark it up for a profit, which you share with the manufacturer. So because they're printed one at a time, there's not really any margin per se. It would be a fraction of that if it was manufactured in bulk.
Okay.
But for
and
this first pass,
So did you do that purposely, or is there strategy behind it? Like, as in maybe just getting your name out there and then doing something, or is it just because literally you want people to learn, you have no interest in making money off of this venture?
Oh, I mean, it's just I think it's a reasonable way to go on your first pass.
On
I
your
would
first
love to make
pass.
1,000 of these and, and branch out and make it a lot bigger thing. But I think, finding if there actually really is a market for this, it's
Got
easier
it.
to do it in a lower risk. It's a lower risk approach for someone doing it for the first time.
For sure. For sure. Okay. Love it. Next is, how did you design the artwork for the game?
Yeah. So that's, I was going to show you something actually about that question,
Yeah.
because the first pass of the game, I just actually used the icons that were native to Keynote. So this took maybe a few hours to produce the first version of the game, just using Keynote icons and getting it sent to the printer.
Okay.
But of course, you can't sell the icons that Keynote has made. Like that's like a PowerPoint equivalent for Mac. So there are
Because they're
online,
copyrighted.
yeah, because they're like licensed you for the purpose of making a PowerPoint or a slideshow, but not for printing printed
Right.
materials and selling yourself. So you got to build your own icons. And I think for an educational game, icons are important because they take a little bit of the cognitive load off the learner. Like you see a pill, you're like, oh, it's oral. You see a syringe, oh, it's injected.
Yeah.
You see a flea, oh, you think, fleas are associated with Rocky Mountain spotted fever.
Yes.
So that's why iconography is important. And for me, I use there's free online vector imaging editing software. So vector images are easily scalable, from small to big, and they're a good way to work. So, and there's a lot of them. I use Gravit, but there's a handful of them out there
Okay.
that are free.
Okay. Wow.
And then, so yeah, going from the original just sort of Keynote, I kind of redesigned the
Oh, wow.
pill, making one
Very cool.
in the online thing, and doing all the other
Wow. Love it.
images that are
Great.
necessary.
Okay. Got it. So that's the artwork. And then who are you using to produce the game? We talked about that, didn't we?
Yeah, that's the drive-through cards is the specific print-on-demand service. A lot of other people in like there aren't that many MedEd games, but like Gridlocked game is done with Game Crafter, which is a little bit more of a robust. It's a little more expensive service, but it's more robust in the components that they can make as opposed to just cards.
Interesting. Okay. And I'm sure there's going to be lots of physicians that are interested in this. I myself have dabbled in creating a board game, and so this is really cool, I have to say. This next question, have you gone to any gaming trade shows to market your game?
Yeah, that would be so much fun.
Right?
I have not. It's
Right.
I think if you're a physician making a game, you may well be making a game that's for the education of your population, right? A game for kids.
Yeah.
As a pediatrician, game for kids, game for parents, and that would be something you could take to another convention. Since this is very specifically a medical
Yes.
education game,
Yeah.
I'll probably be selling it out of trench coats at medical conferences. If you recognize my face, just ask me. But I've been to one educational conference, a local educational game conference in Los Angeles here, but not yet to any medical conferences.
Okay.
It's only about 2 weeks old today.
Oh, wow. I didn't even realize it. And you hit on a good point just in general for the SoMeDocs audience, that I have all the physicians, and that your target audience matters. And so like Michael's making a game that's just for physicians. And so it doesn't pay off for him to like go and market this heavily live, because there's only a few people that this would theoretically apply to. Whereas if you are a physician that wants to like make a game for children, then there are many, many more children, right, that are available in this world to buy it, or their parents, and then you would consider like going to market it. So that's a good answer to that. Okay, last one. What other marketing strategies are you using?
I have to say, like, again, with no budget and sort of a hobby project,
Yeah.
I haven't done much. Though I think going to conventions, Facebook ads are a very common thing for people who sell games to a larger audience. In my personal experience, I'm just using. I'm a Twitter. That's my social media network of choice.
Yeah.
So I've got a Twitter account for the game that's accumulated like 470 followers at this point, and my own personal presence there. So it's exclusively been through Twitter at this point. I have a little bit out on Facebook, a little bit up on Reddit.
Okay.
And that's been pretty successful. I don't mind sharing numbers. I've sold 46 copies. For the niche project and the hobby, I'm very happy being in that place.
I'm happy for you, but hopefully SoMeDocs can get this out there and get you more. As always, like happy to open up the platforms to get more marketing done for you. But I think Yeah, I think I'll wrap it up just to keep it a little bit on the short side. Thank you so much for coming on, and I'm wishing you the best of success. Anybody that wants to get in touch with you hopefully can, and maybe they can help you to promote it in their own hospitals.
That'd be very cool. And definitely, I'm easy to find on Twitter. It's just my first name and last name. Or the game itself is at Empiric Game on Twitter, or the webpage is empiricgame.com,
And spell
which
out your name as well so they can find you.
sure it is Michael, the regular spelling, and
Yep.
then Cosimini.
Okay, perfect. And I'll put your name next to the video as well. And awesome. I'm going to say goodbye and thanks for hopping on.
Yeah, pleasure to meet you.
Sure, you too.